and welcome back to another video from Get It Scoff Cooking with Pajerico. Today I'm making something very tasty from very little ingredients. I'm going to be cooking that up in my skillet pan, so let's get right into that. Right, so first things first, get yourself 2 medium-sized potatoes and get those peeled. Then you want to slice those very, very thinly. When I say very thin, I'm talking like that. Then give your potatoes a little rinse off, just to clear the starch. Then you want to put on your skillet pan. If you don't have a skillet pan, then you can just use an ordinary frying pan. I prefer the skillet pan because of the way it holds the heat better, for a more constant, sort of thorough, equal temperature. But what I'll do is I put that on sort of midway, so my hob goes up to 9 being maximum, so I put that on at 5 and let that gradually heat up, to which you want to add some butter and oil. Okay, so I'll just take a corner off a block of butter, like so, and add that to the pan. And about a tablespoon of vegetable oil or olive oil, whatever your preference is. I personally don't like olive oil. Then just start placing your potatoes in like so. And you want to let that fry until the underside goes a sort of golden brown. And just cover that with a lid to help soften the potato through even more. Well, that's frying. Get yourself another little pan and we're going to make up a sauce. Add 100 millilitres of fresh milk. Then add 100 grams of cheese of your choice. This is a nice white cheddar I'm using. Then add a small teaspoonful of garlic powder. Then a teaspoonful of powdered dried onion. Quarter a teaspoon of dried oregano. Prepare a little bit of milk in a jug and you'll add 2 teaspoonfuls of corn powder to that. And that's just to thicken the sauce up once this is all melted down. Don't forget to mix the corn flour in or it'll just go into a heavy lump at the bottom. You want to check on that before you add it to the sauce as well. So in the meantime, bring this to the boil slowly and keep mixing it while you're doing that. So I'll put that on at number 8.5. And just keep an eye on it and gradually mix. Oh, almost forgot. 2 other things to go in here. A few shakes of salt and a few shakes of black pepper. Okay, so that's reaching boiling point now. So just slowly add the corn flour. You don't want to make things too thick, but you don't want it too thin either. Just sort of in between. I'm going to reduce the heat a bit on that now. Stop it bubbling everywhere. You can see the thickness of that taking place. I think just a little bit more. There we are, that's the sort of consistency you want right there. Any thicker than that, you'll end up with a lump on your plate. So now I'll just reduce the heat on that just to keep it warm. So that's it down to 1.5. So that'll stop it cooking, but it'll keep it hot. Right, back over to the potatoes. So we shall remove the lid. And I'll just give those a rough flipping over. You can see how they're starting to turn a golden brown. Texture like sun. Don't have to be too fussy about the arrangements here, just as long as everything's getting a sort of roughly even cook. As I say, because the potato's so thin, it's quite easy to cook it through. So we're going to give that 4 minutes on that side, and then we'll be adding the sauce. Get yourself another 60 grams of cheese and grate that. Put that aside. With about 1 minute to go, just with your fingers put a little bit of a sprinkle of smoked paprika if you have it. If you don't, I would suggest you get it because it does add to it. Very nice. There's a very light sprinkle like that. With the 4 minutes done, it's time to add the sauce. Just put an even spread. Reduce the heat. I've reduced mine to about 2, and I put a little shake of parsley over. Just cover that up again and leave it for a further 4 to 5 minutes. All that's left to do now is plate it up. And let me tell you, that smells absolutely beautiful. Just sprinkle some of that over the top. And there it is, the end result. Almost looks good enough to eat. And on that note, get it scoffed. Sublime. Absolutely sublime. I'm telling you. If you don't like that,